Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's the last day of my short weekend this week, and I got something I kind of got to do because we're getting close to Christmas. And while I didn't really do anything decorating wise for Halloween, I'm definitely going to put Christmas lights up this year. Now, I brought Christmas lights with me from California, but unfortunately I'm not sure that I have enough lights for the new house. Even though I had lights on 2 stories of my house in California, and this is only a single-story house, I still think the perimeter is longer than the amount of lights I have. Now, I had 2 different kinds of lights on the house. I had what they call Icicle Lights, which is just, it's a bunch of little strings of white lights that are hanging down from wherever you hang them from. And then I also had multicolored lights that I kind of draped between hooks, and I thought it kind of created a cool effect. And like I said, I got to figure out how much space I need for both of those, or how much length of cord, because I'm sure I'm going to have to buy more this year. Also, I'm going to probably be running longer lengths too, so I'm also going to have to pay attention to how many of these cords I can daisy chain together. I think usually with LED bulbs, which is what I use, you can string up to 10 of them together, but it usually says on the package. But what I got to do is figure out how much I have right now, and I think the best way to do that is I'm going to take the Icicle lights out, because if I string those end to end, that should give me a good indication of what the perimeter or the amount of area I was covering with before, and then I can go out and measure what's actually on the house this time, and then I'll know how many lights to get. And also I can do the same thing kind of with the multicolor lights, because I can count how many, I can figure out, you know, what the original number was for the Icicle lights and how many I had to buy, and that just gives me a math ratio, and then I can apply that same math ratio to the multicolor lights and get some more of those too. I also got to go out and put hooks on the side of the house, so I have something to hang the lights on. So I think that's going to be the task for today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you a whole bunch of that, because I don't really want to have any photos of my house online. I hope you understand that. You know, it's kind of a security thing. You know, Waco is a relatively small area, and you know, if you know what the house looks like, you know, you might be able to figure out, you know, then you'd be able to know when you see it, and, you know, might look at Google Maps or something like that and say, oh, that's where he lives, and I don't want to have that happen. So I'm not going to be able to show you a whole lot of this, but I'll kind of talk you through what's going to go on. And I'll probably show you, you know, show the you know, me measuring the lights and stuff like that to figure out, and we'll just talk about what happens. But we're gonna have to go out to Home Depot also and get some hooks, and I'm gonna have to go around the entire perimeter of the house and hang up the hooks. So that's gonna kind of be my task for today. I also at some point want to kind of run the mower over both the front and the backyard. The trees in the yard are dropping their leaves, and they're dropping them like crazy, and I got to do something to mulch all that stuff up. I got leaves that got blown off the tree that are like sitting in the gutter in the front yard right now. They've been there for a week, and now I'm probably going to double or triple that quantity. So I'm going to have to do some figuring about how I get rid of leaves, and I think probably what I'm going to do is end up bagging them and letting the sanitation department take them away. Yeah, see what I mean about the leaves? Yeah, that's one of the things that wasn't in the brochure of how many of these trees drop their leaves every year, but it looks like just about everything in the yard is going to drop its leaves. So I already got tons and tons of this. Just kind of, I went out here and raked just a few days ago and got a little bit of a pile going, but you know, this has all just happened in the last few days, and the front yard is just as bad. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the mower back here. I'm just going to mulch everything back here, because once you get into littler pieces, then you know, then the grass can kind of grow around it and absorb it and all that. But the stuff in the front yard, I think I'm actually going to blow it out in the street, and once I get it out there, I'm going to try and rake it up and get it into trash cans, and then the city can take it when they do their thing. So I'm going to start with that, and we'll go from there. So I decided to do the yard work first, just because that was more daylight related and dependent on daylight. So I got a good start. I got a good 10 bags of leaf waste now ready to be picked up. I haven't actually hit all the leaves yet. I got everything more or less out of the front yard, but I still got probably another 5 or 10 bags in the backyard I got to do. But that can hold for now. Like I said, the worst thing I wanted to deal with was just the fact that the leaf waste was starting to build up in the gutter, and didn't really want to have that get any worse because it was already starting to drift back onto the yard. It was so high. So we got that taken care of. Now I'm going to go mess with the lights. I don't know if I'm actually going to get hooks put up today. We may go out and buy them, but yeah, we can at least figure out how many more lights that we're going to need. So I think that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do after I cool off a little bit. It's really hot out here. All right, so I've gotten the Christmas lights out, and specifically the Icicle Lights are the ones I was concerned about here, because that was going to be kind of the indicator of how long, how much of a reach I had, and how far, how many more I had to buy. Now, I actually did calculations. I think the perimeter of the house that I want to cover is 143 feet, and I looked at these Icicle Lights. I got 14 of these Icicle Light strings. I actually got them kind of running out into the yard a little bit here, and they're 11 feet long. So when you do the math there, it's 154 feet. So I might actually have enough lights to do this. So that's good to know. Probably won't have to buy anything, or if I do, I'll just buy one or two. What I do got to figure out now is how long I can daisy chain them. Like I said, I think I can go 10 strings on these things. And so that's just a matter then of finding kind of the middle point in the house and trying to run power to that so that I can run power both ways. Because what you do is you just kind of run the line up, and then you send lights that way and you send lights that way from the center mark. And at that point, if I can do 10 on a string daisy chain together, and I have 14 lights, and I start at the halfway mark, then that's only going to be 7 and 7. And so that should very easily work there. Now, like I said, there's a little bit of lack of clarification in the measurements, because there's a couple of gables on the house that I didn't really measure. They aren't huge, but actually when I did my calculation, I figured 143 plus. So 143 plus 12 is basically 154. So, or 100, well, whatever, 11 is 154. So I think it'll probably be in that range. And if that's the case, then like I said, I might have to go buy 1 or 2 strings of lights, but I was figuring I might have to go, buy 10 or 12 strings of lights. So that's good. We'll kind of play it by ear. I think I am going to run over to Home Depot today and get some hooks, but I don't think I'll get the hooks on the ceiling or on the house today. We'll probably have to wait until next week to do that. So there we go. Things are coming together. We're going to have Christmas lights this year, and hopefully they will be nice. All right, so I was just out in the front yard kind of looking at the layout of the house, trying to figure out how we're going to do everything on the lights. And as I said, the perimeter length is about 143 feet. So the halfway mark on that would be about 70 feet. And just really lucky, there's actually an electrical outlet almost right there, dead center in the front of the house. So I think I'm going to be able to use that, and we'll just kind of run the power up the wall, and then we can go both ways, and it'll be like, seven lights, strings of lights going one way, 7 strings of lights going the other way, and it should work out pretty well. So hopefully this is going to actually be a lot easier than I thought it would be. The big thing is always the first year, because you got to go put the hooks up. I remember the first year I did that on my house in California, and it took a while to do it that first year, but it makes it so much easier years after that, because all I have to do is just go drape it over the hook, and this can actually be a lot easier this year for me too, because I don't have a second story I have to deal with. That was always one of the things. I had that big 27-foot extension ladder that I would use to get up to the top of the second floor up there, and that was a little scary at some points, because my house in California was literally right on the street. So I had no driveway. Basically, you drove out of the garage and you went basically right into the street. So when I had that ladder out there in front of the house, I was actually had the ladder out in the middle of the street. I actually had to put my car out, and park it illegally in a red zone, just so some car wouldn't accidentally hit the ladder and knock me off. So that's going to be a lot nicer, the fact that the house is so much back further from the street, and that it's a single story house. I'm going to be able to do it with a smaller ladder. It'll be a lot less scary. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to still go to Home Depot and get some of those hooks, and we'll probably hang the hooks next weekend. So I think I've mentioned a couple times that one of my bad habits is that I'll get up in the morning and kind of get in the mood to work on some sort of a project, and I'll get out there and start working on the project even before I've eaten breakfast. And then all of a sudden I'll look at the clock and it's like, mid-afternoon. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. And what is it? It's about 3 o'clock right now. That's what I did today. Rather than eating breakfast initially, I went out and started working on the yard. And now it's 3 o'clock, and it doesn't make sense to eat breakfast now because I'm just going to be eating dinner in a couple hours. So whatever. That's just me. All right, so I'm back from Home Depot. I got a bunch of hooks. Like I said, we'll put those up probably next weekend. It's getting a little later now, and I think I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up for the day. But I got another idea, something I want to put up in the kind of porch entryway, and I'm gonna kind of see if that works. Yeah, I think I definitely got to tie the pillows down next year a little bit more securely. They've all kind of migrated to one end of the pool, but I don't know, the cover seems to still be working pretty well. I don't see a whole lot of leaves on here, so that's good. We'll get the cover situation dealt with next year. And that thing's getting really big. That's a little bit bigger than a softball right now. It's got some nice color to it. I'm assuming that's what they start to do when they get ripe. Still not really sure what this is. I think one of these days I'll probably just have to take some photos into a gardening shop and see what they can think what it is. But I don't know, whatever it is, it's still growing, so that's a good thing. There is a very angry squirrel over on that tree over there. I don't know what's setting him off, but he's chattering a whole bunch right now, shaking his tail. So I don't know what that's all about, but if he's upset because there's no food, then he clearly hasn't looked over here or over here. Alright, so I'm sorry I was unable to really show you a lot of what was going on today, and I know you understand, but I know from time to time there's things I got to do out in the front yard that have to be done, and they take time to do, and unfortunately I can't fully document it when I vlog it, so I apologize. I know this one is a little short and maybe a little bit boring, and you know what, that happens. Sometimes I'm a boring person, so I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.